Hey everyone, in today's video I'll be talking about how I use Puzzle Storm to drastically improve my tactical vision. So before I used to do it in a wrong way, I would say, and now I've fixed a couple of stuff and how I approach doing puzzle storms and it helped me better. So I'll be sharing these tips to you as well in this video. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Puzzle Storm, it's basically a feature on Lichess where you get 3 minutes to try to solve as many puzzles as you can, and each time the puzzles get harder as you go on. So on chess.com, I believe there's a similar feature that's called Puzzle Rush. However, you do need a membership on chess.com since there's a daily limit. On Lichess, I believe it's just completely free. So you can choose either platform to practice every day. Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is when you're doing Puzzle Storm, the most important thing is to actually slow down and not to try to solve as many puzzles as you can. The more important thing is to try to solve as many puzzles as you can accurately. That means going at a pace that is convenient for you. So you see all these high rated players, these title players streaming, and they have these really high puzzle storm scores, puzzle race scores. And one thing that I would like to remind all of us is we're not as good as them simply because we haven't practiced as much as them. We haven't seen as many games as them. So it's important for us to just slow down and let the position sink in, because I've played Puzzle Storm a couple of times, and as I played more and more, I'd try to play fast and faster, and I'd still get all the basic puzzles right, but I really wouldn't even see the position. I would see a check, so I'd just play it, and like 95% of the time it would be right. Sometimes it would actually be the wrong check and I'd get it wrong, but most of the times I would get them right, but I wouldn't really be looking at the position. And that's what I realized when I started playing a lot of blitz games recently, and I've been missing the most basic tactics under time pressure. And I realized that when I'm doing Puzzle Storm, it's actually not helping me because I'm not taking the time to like just look at the position and looking at like where the pieces are, and then like choosing the move that eventually leads to the winning tactic. So it's important that you actually take a couple of seconds, 2 to 3 seconds, slow down, look at the position, and let it sink in for you. And I feel like this is the correct way to do Puzzle Storm, or even just solve puzzles in general. It's to slow down and get used to the calculations, looking at candidate moves like 2 to 3 different moves, and then slowly from there build up your speed. Because as you slow down and you work on this slowly, you will get faster at some point. But your starting point, you should not be trying to go as fast as you can, but rather just simply slow down. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing I would like to mention is that when you're playing a game, you always don't have a winning tactic. So when you play Puzzle Storm, you build some sort of pattern recognition, you build some sort of calculation skills if you solve it slowly. And when you're playing a game, you get this sense like, oh, there might be a tactic here. That doesn't mean you should be trying to look for a tactic. This has happened to me so many times when I feel like there's a tactic, so I just end up burning a lot of time, and it quite doesn't work, but I still play it anyway and it doesn't work. And sometimes it's even a risky move and I end up losing. So the important thing here is when you get this sort of like sense that there might be a tactic, it's just using your puzzle storm skills to calculate and then see if there's one or not. And there are positions where there's simply no tactic. They're like, because it's different from the actual puzzle. There's a different piece that stops the tactic, so you have to move on, or maybe you can try to set it up, but you simply can't play it. Especially for us blitz players under time pressure, just because you feel like there is a tactic doesn't mean you should just blitz it out. Just take a couple of seconds, or I mean, okay, if you don't have that much time under pressure, just pause for a second, just quickly look, does it work? If not, then don't play it, because it's important to differentiate this during a game versus puzzles. Because when you're doing Puzzle Storm, you know there's a win and you just look, play that tactic, you play that check. But during a game, again, it's important to slow down and differentiate. And I feel like this is the main barrier for us players below 2000 rated. I mean, for us players rated below 2000, because a lot of them are just simple blunders, 2 to 3 move calculations, and especially under time pressure, it's just these simple blunders that decide the game. So I feel like practicing Puzzle Storm slowly and building that calculation skills and knowing when to play what move is going to be really important. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. Hopefully you guys start practicing Puzzle Storm the right way and play a couple of games every day, build your calculation skills and so on. and see you next video. Bye.